Let's go ahead and do a couple practice problems. I'm going to do different ones than the ones I posted on Blackboard so that you can practice them on your own. Go ahead and write this down in your math notebook with me. The first one, let's do 22 divided by 4. Okay, and you have to know your multiplication for this. You can use the blocks, but as we get to bigger numbers, you won't want to be making blocks with 342 and separating them into groups. So you have 22 and you need to make them into 4 groups. So 4 times what gets you exactly 22 or really close to 22. So in your head, or if it helps to write it down, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 6 is 24. Alright, now last week, most of you knew that it was going to be one of these. 24 is bigger than 22. We only have 22. So it can't be that. It's too big. So we have to go back to this 4 times 5 is 20. So if you have 4 groups, you can put 5 in each. So that means we use 20 of them. And if you subtract, we end up having 2 left over. So it's 5 remainder 2. Alright, let's do another. This time let's try 32 divided by 5. So we're pretty good at counting by 5s. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15, and so on. I'll give you a second to figure out what you think it is. You should be deciding between 5 times 6 is 30 and 5 times 7 is 35. So just like I said last time, 35, too big. We only have 32 here. Okay, so it's going to be the 5 times 6 is 30. So we put the 6 here, we take away the 30, and when we subtract, we end up having 2 left over. We also did a couple questions on Friday with 3-digit numbers. So I'm just going to go over that again and review with you on that. So if we had something like let's do this. So we'll start with the first digit here, and is 4 times something get you 3 or really close to 3? And the answer is we can't do that. Okay, so then we have to go to 36. Does 4 times something equal 36 or get you really close to 36? So use your multiplication table, use what you already know. Go ahead and pause it and while you figure it out, and then use my answer to check yourself. Okay, so you should figure out that 4 times 9 is 36. So we couldn't do 4 times anything to equal 3, so I put a 0 there. So we can do 4 times 9 is 36. And when you subtract that, well, we used everything. So then we bring down this 0 here. Well, 4 times what makes 0? And the answer here is 0. Okay, I will be showing you guys this week how to do this with base 10 blocks. But for now, we're just reviewing what they introduced on Friday. So if you were to write this as a multiplication equation, it would be 4 times 90 equals 360. All right, one more problem. This is also a review of what you did last week. Let's go ahead and do this problem. Okay, so we'll start first with the thousands. If you have 1,000, we are going to look at this ones place. 3 times something equals 3. Can we, I'm sorry, 3 times something equals 1. And we can't do that. So we're going to go to now 18. Because 3 times something equal 18. Go ahead and figure that out on your own. Alright, and you should get 3 times 6 equals 18. So we'll subtract. Do we get 0? So we bring down the next number in the tens place. 0. What times 3 times what will get us 0? And the answer here is 0. Okay, so we didn't use anything. So when you subtract 0, you get 0. And if you bring down this 2, 3 times what equals 2? Well, nothing. You can't do that. So we have to put a 0 again above the ones place. We subtract 0. Well, now we've used all of our numbers, so this 2 is actually our remainder. So you do want to check your answer here and make sure it makes sense. 600 times 3. And if we go through and multiply this, you will get 1,800. And then you take this remainder, it's an extra, and you add it. And you will get 1,802. I couldn't line mine up. I'm out of room on my screen, but you can line yours up. And if you do it correctly, this number here should match the number here. We will keep working on this, so if it's still a little confusing, don't worry about it. We're spending the next couple days making sure everybody understands this before we move on to the next lesson.